Peace and Black Power family. Black News 101 is no longer up no more because of Minister Inky. He did some bullshit with Ali Muhammad. Then he moved to Polite. And he stole Polite's computer right out of his goddamn house. And now the nigga done stole something from me. The nigga is not right, family. He threatened that he would take Black News 101 down. So I don't give a damn what nobody say. We know Minister Inky did it because we cut his ass off.
All right. Oh my goodness, why are so many people waiting for this show? Why are so many people waiting for this show? Why have I been hiding from this show for many months now? But I knew there was a possibility that things would come to this situation. Many of us have seen the outrageous claims, and you know, Sinetta put his video up, made his claims, and you know, it was kind of like a small little bomb went off because I made it my business of staying clear of specific types of foolishness. And I guess it gave people the impression of cleanliness, and that has a backlash of its own. You know, people want to see you get down in the mud. So you know, a lot of people been waiting for Minister Inky to get into some shit, so to speak. So, you know, Sinetta put up his video and made his claims, and it circled the world twice before I even knew it was up. But an interesting thing happened to me. A series of interesting things happened to me 2 to 3 days prior to that video going up. And I'm not the best researcher. I'm not the worst researcher. But I do study daily. And that research and that study has led me scientifically, spiritually. I think I just like ate spiderweb just now. I don't know what that was. Scientifically, spiritually, and all ways in between, to not believe in coincidence. So I don't believe in coincidence at all. I believe that anything that happens for a reason, and I believe that all things are connected. So I started having trouble, more trouble than usual, at home with my internet service. Now, why that would be a big deal for anybody, or for me anyway, is because my business is online. So I started having trouble with my internet service, and then, bam, right in my Wi-Fi box pops up a new selection for Wi-Fi that I can click on and use some internet service. FBI surveillance. I'm like, wow. I got a flood of emotion, needless to say, at that moment, running in all different directions. So I said, man, nobody ever believed this. Let me take a screenshot of this here just to save it, because you never know. You just never know. So a day or two rolls by. Bam! now Sinetta comes out with these claims and tries to attack me in the public, tries to damage my credibility, so to speak, with the people in public. And adds Polite and claims that Polite made 2 years ago to his claim to beef up the story, but makes it seem like it's current affairs, what's really past tense. So I'm like, wow, wait a minute, hold on. First of all, that's a lie. Second of all, he just grabbed something from 2 years ago. That's also a lie. Put it together to make that seem, what is he doing? I just got off the phone with Sinetta. I just came back from the awards with Sinetta. What the hell is this? This is very interesting right here. Very interesting indeed. And I don't have to fill anybody in on the stories that circulate on Sinetta. So now I'm just in this crazy place where my mind is all over the place, and I'm trying to call the brother and connect with the brother, and I'm going to voicemail, and I start getting some crazy text messages back from the brother, and I'm trying to figure this whole thing out. Because we did have a misunderstanding about our business arrangements, as far as me creating the House of Consciousness Awards event and how we were going to, handle the back end part of the money. And, we had some miscommunications. And, I took the short end of the stick. I walked away with $150. He walked away with $4,000. But it was what it was, and I ate it. And, I thought that was the end of that. And, we had a great time at the events. Leading up to the event, after the event, we had, that was done already. We moved on. We having a good conversation. I don't know where this came from, but I had to put two and two together. I also had to start to examine recent events and see what was happening in the larger scope of the conscious community. I realized that I was stepping on a lot of people's toes, especially brothers like Polite, who are living off of putting our people back into bondage. Now, I never got kicked out of New Covenant. Anybody telling you that is a liar. I left New Covenant. One day, Polite calls my phone like, hey, what's going on, brother? Yo, man, how you gonna do that? How you just gonna start changing everything over to the Amber Institute, man? I thought that was our radio station. I'm like, correction, that's my radio station. I had that radio station way before you even thought about New Covenant. That's why I never erased the archives of all the shows that I had, just in case a time would come where there would be confusion. To simply say, no, go check the archives. That's always been my radio station. I had that from like 2010. But I left New Covenant the same way I left the ISIS community. I was a lawmaster in the ISIS community. That's Ali Muhammad's community. Or was, before that went under, or whatever the status of that is right now. But as a lawmaster, I ran into problems, and then I began to be crucified in that organization because I didn't want to take part in what I saw as fraud. And when I began to see the exact same behavior in the New Covenant, I had to walk away again. There is no such thing as sovereignty paperwork. Period. There is no such thing as sovereignty paperwork. A lot of people are wasting money A lot of people are getting hurt. A lot of people are thinking they're in organizations that have their back, and they have this paperwork, and they're taking certain legal stances, and when they go to the courtroom, they find out they by themselves. When they get to the police station, they find out they by themselves. If you're calling for something as mundane, or just for a mundane reason, and you can't get in touch with people, you go into voicemail, you go, what makes you think in an emergency situation you're going to be able to catch up with these people? That sold you the ideology that led you to take a specific legal stance that now will put you in an adverse situation in your life. They're not going to be there. I know. Because I bought this whole thing with the paperwork hook, line, and sinker and spent my money. I was in the federal court. I did it all. So I know from experience that it's bogus. It's bogus. It's a European doctrine. It's not even Moorish science. It's not Moorish law. None of that. It's bogus. The UCCs was just invented in 1952. It's bogus. But we're late. We're late on things.